news that you will now be charged £1 to enter Brighton Pier from this summer unless you are a local resident.
Well, it looks like I've become victim of another parking scam in the UK. I stayed in a hotel overnight there. That charged £5 for parking. They use ANPR to check if you've paid. I paid my £5, got the receipt, all good. A few weeks later, I receive a letter through the mail.
But I just think, God, what a scam. What an actual scam that is. He was like, have you cancelled it or has something gone wrong? And I was like, no, I've cancelled it.
So now in London, the Silvertown Tunnel and the Blackwall Tunnel now has a fare attached to it if you drive through the tunnels, which you might think, okay, that's fine. We'll pay the fee and it will help maintain, the road networks, TfL, etc. Maybe to the NHS, who knows? But actually, when you delve deep into it, you realise that
Are these the biggest modern-day scams in the UK? From harsh parking fines to tourist traps, and even paying just to drive through a tunnel, the frustration is growing. Let's take a look at some examples that people say feel more like a swindle than a service.
Of course, the time when I look mad is the time when I need to fucking rant, yeah? But you guys keep saying that the government, in the UK is the biggest scam. Let me re-educate you guys on what the biggest scam in the fucking UK is. Let me tell you. Guess how much this charger was? £16. 16. Not one. Not two. £16. What? Mind you, I bought this charger on Soho Road. I'm telling you, my pocket them can't afford this country. I can't afford it. I should have just went, I literally should have just saved up two pennies and went to Apple and got the fucking original charger. Because 60 fucking quid. What the fuck?
Having to pay to enter Brighton Pier? Enjoying a simple British landmark now comes with a price.
I've gone through. Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam.
Can the cost of living crisis get any worse, especially for low-income families? The answer is yes. Yes, it can. Because I've just seen the news that you will now be charged £1 to enter Brighton Pier from this summer unless you are a local resident. Now, as someone who has spent majority of their childhood and their teenage years visiting Brighton Pier, this is honestly so disappointing. For those saying that it's only £1, I'm glad that you are financially secure to feel that way, because a lot of larger groups are definitely going to notice they're here. And let's just talk about how expensive Brighton Pier already is. By the time you've got to the gates, you've probably bought a pack of donuts. That's going to cost you £10. You're then paying £1 a head. And once you set through, it is a battle to get to the arcade.
Now, even driving through tunnels like this in London comes with a fee.
So now in London, the Silvertown Tunnel and the Blackwall Tunnel now has a fare attached to it if you drive through the tunnels, which you might think, okay, that's fine. We'll pay the fee and it will help maintain, the road networks, TfL, etc. Maybe to the NHS, who knows? But actually, when you delve deep into it, you realise that the cost to make the tunnel was 1 billion and it's owned by a company called Riverlink. Riverlink is a foreign company. It's going to collect all the fees. It's private equity. And Sadiq Khan even said, we have no control of the funds because it's going directly to them. It's Dutch, Spanish and South Korean owned. So they paid the cost to build the tunnel, which is about 1 billion they spent. But they have a 30-year contract for 2.5 billion if the fares stay the same. And we all know the fares are not going to stay the same. They're going to go up. So they are making 1.5 billion off of all of the Londoners. This is ridiculous. And no one's talking about it. No one's looked into the contract. No one understands it. And there's also aspects of 200 million, 350 million clauses in it. And the clauses mean we have to pay to upkeep the tunnel because they won't. It's ridiculous.
Blackwall Tunnel, my people. Let's talk about it because I just received a fine from there. After I've come back from Gambia, I've come back to this UK to nothing but bills. And guess what? Just because I forgot the £4, I thought I'd have to pay £8. Worst comes to worst, I thought I'd have to pay 65 quid. But let's talk about how much it really is. Do you know that if you don't pay the Blackwall Tunnel crossing, it's nothing like the Dartford crossing where you got to drive through and you pay straight away. You've got to pay online after. Do you know that I've received a bloody fine, and guess how much it is? £90 And I mean it's £90 if you pay within 2 weeks. If you don't pay within 2 weeks, it's £180. What is this world coming through? What is this world coming to? Congestion, ULEZ, Dartford crossing, Blackwall crossing. Listen, I might as well just stay in my ass, or should I just go back to Gambia? Sick and tired. Sick and tired.
A parking charge text when you don't even own a car. That's a new one.
Scams are getting out of hand, because how can I get text this? One, I don't even have a car though. And two, how are you adding us all to a group chat? That won't make sense. You better.
Classic tourist trap tactics, and London's full of them. If you're not careful, your wallet empties before you even realise it.
Don't fall for this tourist trap in London.
People always tells me, oh, I've been charged £13, £15, and I was supposed to be charged just £5. Yeah, because there's a small detail that you should pay attention first before choosing the train. The first one is called Elizabeth Line, and the second one is the Underground.
To avoid being charged £13 or £25, please follow this sign. You have to go to the Underground station.
So you just go all straight, and then you just get to the station, which is the Piccadilly line, is the blue line, which has a lot of stops. So just consider that.
Using your own card instead of the Oyster card helps you save £7 extra.
And lastly, don't forget to also tap out when leaving the station. Enjoy your trip to London.
These are the 5 biggest tourist traps in London. Save this video for your upcoming London trip. And number 5, we've got the Shard observation deck. You pay 30 quid and you go up and you just look at the views. Rather than paying £30 to just go up and look, go to one of the bars or restaurants in the Shard, because then you can get 1 or 2 drinks and spend the same or less money and see the same views. And it's a much better atmosphere as well. And number 4, we've got Oxford Street. Don't get me wrong, just passing through Oxford Street, taking a few photos and just, you know, having a wander is decent. But if you're going shopping, especially at peak times, forget about it. The shops are packed with people. The tube station is packed with people. It's just packed. Avoid it. Number 3 is the London Eye. Literally paying like 45 quid to just go on a big Ferris wheel. And it's always packed. You're going to wait like an hour in line. There's so many free and cheap viewpoints in London. Don't go on the London Eye. At number 2, we've got M&M's World. To be fair, if you're going in there just to look around, like, yeah, do it. But don't buy anything. It's so expensive. Smells good in there, though, to be fair. And the biggest tourist trap in the whole of London is Madame Tussauds. Paying like 30 odd quid to look at waxworks of celebrities. Whatever, mate.
This so-called modern-day scam hits hard because it's something so many people can relate to. Already paid the parking fine, yet the rental company slapped on another charge. It's a reminder to always stay cautious out there.
Well, it looks like I've become victim of another parking scam in the UK. I stayed in a hotel overnight there. That charged £5 for parking. They use ANPR to check if you've paid. I paid my £5, got the receipt, all good. A few weeks later, I receive a letter through the mail from Enterprise, who I rented the car from, saying, oh, you've got a parking ticket from this hotel. You didn't pay for their parking, yada, yada, yada. Now, Enterprise charge £35 to handle the letter and forward your details to the parking company, which is reasonable. It's something I signed up for. I then contacted the parking company, said, look, this ticket is not right. Here's my invoice receipt from the parking. I clearly paid and parked. They're like, oh, yep, that's our mistake. We will cancel the ticket, no problem. Now, my question is, what about the £35 that Enterprise charged me? They're well within their right to charge this amount. But why should I have to pay £35 for their negligence? So anyway, I've sent them a letter. I sent that about a week and a half ago, asking them, can I have the £35? This is, look, you made a mistake, your negligence. It's not a heads I win, tails you lose situation where you can just send out letters to anyone and hope somebody pays. I think you've got to take responsibility for what you did. I gave them 14 days to respond. They haven't responded yet. Maybe they respond in the next few days. If they don't, I'm going to send them a letter before action, and then I am actually going to pursue this through the small claims court if they don't respond.
This is an update on the parking ticket that I got from the council for being few centimeters over their line because there was somebody else hindering me parking properly. So I sent them a letter with check for £25, and I told them that as soon as they're going to cash it, they will enter into contract and I will enforce my own notice that was displayed in the car at the time. The notice I have in my private conveyance is from a guy called allegedly Dave, and he's brilliant, so I thought I assessed it. And the notice states that anything attached to the private conveyance or any photographs taken of the private conveyance will generate a bill. I sent them also invoice for £750. And said if they're not going to pay that within 2 weeks, it's going to increase by 20%. And I haven't heard anything back, and the cash has not been, the check has not been cashed. So people, don't give these vampires your hard-earned money. It's all about contracts, and we just need to play the game. So as the Prodigy guy said, fuck them and their laws.
Right, I'm going to show you something now. I'm convinced that people, like councils and stuff, are just trying to rip people off when it comes to parking. Because I've been done a few times where they don't give you they tell you you've got to pay by card. And if you ain't got card or stuff in your bank, how are you supposed to pay? So, I'm in Walsall at the minute, and there's this machine. And if you look, it's saying out of order, pay by alternative method. So what do? I think I'm just going to try this because I ain't got my card with me. I've only got cash. So I peeled the sticker back, put the money in, and it worked. So I put the money, paid for the ticket, and printed my ticket by cash. Even though there's a sticker on there saying it's out of order, you must pay by alternative methods. Work that one out.
Imagine coughing up £1.20 just to drive down a tiny private road.
Okay, lovely. I've gone through. Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam.
Is green energy really the future, or just another way to squeeze more money out of people?
Right, so today I had a conversation with my Uber driver as we were on the way to the car dealership to take my car up from service, and suddenly the topic of electric cars came up. As you know, I do a lot of driving on the side, and most of my acquaintances and some of them fellow delivery drivers have advised me on considering buying an electric car, mainly because it's more suitable considering the amount of driving we do that could potentially lead to a higher return of our money. Now, the government has been very vocal about this in the past and are really trying to push this analogy onto people because it's supposed to save them more money, it's supposed to do us a favour, and that being the bottom line, is supposed to be environmentally friendly. What a lot of people don't know, and myself included, I didn't know this, is that electric cars, and I believe the green agenda in itself, is by far the biggest scam I've ever seen. It's a complete and utter lie. They said it back in 2021 that they were going to make zero emission driving more affordable, and as a result of this, the government was handing out grants and incentive to convince people to make that switch. And there you go. As you can see, it's written on the top half. But then, look what happened. Plug-in grant for cars to end as focus moves to improving electric vehicle charging. Now let me show you what is that going to lead to. As you know, the price cap for energy bills is due to increase from October the 1st, meaning that if you are the owner of an electric car and it used to cost you £69 to charge your battery fully, well, not anymore. Now it's going to cost you over £30 to charge your battery.
Not to mention that from 2025, every single electric car will no longer be exempt from congestion charge in order to keep up with the 2030 plan.
They don't even watch TV anymore, yet still get the inspector knocking at their door.
Mr. TV Licence Inspector Detective Man knocked on my door earlier on today. To be fair, it was really nice. But I just think, God, what a scam. What an actual scam that is. He was like, have you cancelled it or has something gone wrong? And I was like, no, I've cancelled it. We don't watch it. We watch YouTube, or the kids watch YouTube. That's about it. We don't watch TV. We're in the kitchen, food prepping, I'm doing business. Like, no. But I've seen so much on here about, like, do not pay it if you're not watching it. Like, you don't need it for things like Netflix. You don't need it for watching YouTube, no matter what they say. He'd got a little camera on his vest. I'm assuming that was to try and prove that people watching telly. I mean, our TV was turned off. But, yeah, keep safe, guys.
Is the TV licence fee a bigger scam than road tax? I got rid of normal TV a year ago, and I haven't missed it one bit. It is a scam. As you probably gathered, I don't pay a TV licence. But fuck this. One, how would that even work? Netflix, Disney Plus, yada yada yada, aren't owned by the BBC. So why are we going to pay a BBC licence fee to use Netflix? It makes no sense. And two, as I said in this tweet, why the fuck would anybody want to fund the BBC, given the level of scandal they've covered up over the past decade? The BBC could just copy the Netflix model, but they can't do that because nobody would pay the TV licence if people knew it was optional. Or they could just scrap the BBC, which there are a lot of people wouldn't be particularly bothered with anymore. Match of the Day is kind of irrelevant with the Sky Sports Premier League stuff on YouTube. And all of the best TV shows end up on streaming pretty much straight after they've broadcasted. There's no point in the BBC anymore. They just the government just keep funding it to push their political propaganda. Is this a bigger scam than road tax or council tax? I still think road tax is the worst. Have you seen the potholes on UK roads recently? Well, not even recently, the past like 5 years. But this is a close second. But do you still have your TV licence? Let us know and click that follow button. Cheers.
Have you experienced any of these so-called modern-day scams yourself? Or do you think they're just the price of living in the UK today? Make sure to like the video, subscribe for more, and drop your thoughts in the comments.